Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece here. Here's my contact information, my website, which is my online store. Here's my Facebook business page. If you haven't joined, please do. And here's my YouTube channel. Thank you for all of you who have subscribed. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, and watch to the end. What are we making today? We are making a mirror fold card. So I wrote out the directions here. If you want to take a screenshot, because there's a lot of measurings, points and different things you can do. So what I'm going to do is take this off, and it's called a mirror fold card. And this part folds up like that. I don't know if I had it folded that way, but that's how it goes. So I made this one first to get used to the lay of the land and how to do it. And then I just have a little belly band that goes on there. And make your belly bands loose enough that you can really just put that in. Now it is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. So it's a little bit slimmer, but it fits in a regular envelope, which is important. So let me tell you the pieces and parts you need. I'm using Gorgeous Grape. It is 5 1/2 by 10 1/2. I went ahead and scored it at 3 1/2 and 7. It makes it 3 equal parts. So you can do 3 1/2, turn it around, 3 1/2. Same thing. I'm going to fold. This one is a mountain fold, and this one is a valley fold. And I would use your bone folder on that. Now I need Designer Series paper 1, and I need 2 of them. I'm going to use a different one this time. This is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. I need basic white, which is also 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I needed enough basic white so I could cut out a deckled circle. Then DSP 2, you need 2 pieces of, and I didn't put that on there, sorry, you need 2 pieces of 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. You need a piece of Gorgeous Grape, which is your belly band, which is 1 by 8 1/2. I also am cutting using the zinnia dies to cut out a zinnia, and a little, this is what makes it the whole zinnia with these little parts with daffodil and pumpkin pie. I'm also using these dies, which are in our catalog, and I just lost the name of them. I will look it up quick. But these cut out lots of sayings. So if you get a kit from me, you're going to get 2 sayings, hopefully one of them you'll like, to use for your inside piece. Let me show you what I mean by that. Is just a little die. Because this is a kit to go this month. So I wanted you to be able to have something fun for this one. So hopefully you've taken a screenshot. If you haven't, stop the video. It's going to go on YouTube also, and you can write down the measurements. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to show you how I measured this. So once you get the 3 1/2 and 7, you do a lot of 2-inch measurements. So I went from the left side and I measured down 2 inches. I don't know if you can see that little pencil mark. And then on this one, I went up from the bottom 2 inches. So I have little marks here. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. I find this one easier on the paper trimmer than on the Simply Scored. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, and what I'm going to do is try to put that in the track. Hopefully you can see that. And this. So I'm making sure the track is right here where this blade is. That's the track. And I'm making sure I can see both the littles, and I can't right now. It's hard on camera. And it's, of course, late afternoon, so, you know, light isn't the best. I got to move it over a little bit so I can see that. And then I'm going to score. And I've got my first score line. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to once again get the point and that in the track. There, that's in the track. Make sure you don't bend the rest of your cardstock. I have done that. And I'm going to start here and go down to that point. Okay. So I made this first one. I'm going to show you this in a minute because this will be kind of our one that we can look at so you can see how to do it. Then I've got this score line. And remember, we're making this as a mirror. So I'm going to get that in the track. And that, go down to that point. Then I'm going to come back. And I'm going to make sure this is in the track again. Sometimes it's hard to see in this light. Just a little bit. Is it in the track? Yep, now it is. And I'm going to that other edge. And I have my 2 folds. So I'm going to put this away for a moment. So let me show you again how we were doing this. I'm going to turn it because it really has to go this way. This is the mountain fold, and this is the valley fold. This is a 2-inch. I come down 2 inches, put a little mark, and then I line this mark up with this point, scored. This mark up with that point, scored. I did the same thing at the bottom. This is 2 inches from the bottom. This one's from the top. I line this up in the track with 1 point, score, did the same thing. Then I'm going to gently fold that down and this up. So let me do it on this one. I'm folding these 2 points down. And then I'm going to fold these 2 points up. And what I'm going to do is come in with my bone folder. Same thing here. And you've got your mirror folds. So that's the first part. That part is pretty easy. Well, maybe. I don't know. Some people might find it hard, but I didn't find it hard as long as I followed the directions. You know how that goes. Okay. Now I'm going to move this off a little bit. See if I can do that without losing all the parts and pieces. So these are my 2 front pieces. What I'm going to do is I want this one to be here. So I'm going to come down and this is going to get a 2-inch mark right there so I can see it. I'm going to cut from the point to that. Let me do that first so we don't get confused. I'm going right here. I've got that lined up and that lined up. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces. Then I'm going to do this one, and I need it to go down here. So I'm going to do 2 inches from this end. I'm going to turn it around so you can see it. And I'm just going to do a little measure right there, 2 inches. And I'm going to get that in cut. Okay. Next, well, maybe I better put those down first because then we'll go, I'm confused. I don't want to do that. So we're going to start, I'm going to do liquid glue because I think you're going to be happier with a little wiggle room. I tend to be happier when I have a wiggle room. So I'm going to put this right. And the first one I did not line up well at all, but I'm going to work harder on this one. And then this will go right there. Once again, liquid glue. You can also get to the points with liquid glue. Get right to the tip. Okay. All right. That's that one. And that is this one. I always get that confused. See? So I have to do one at a time. It's very confusing at times. It's just going backwards. But you know what? I don't know about you, but when I'm doing directions, sometimes I have trouble going the other way with directions. I can get one way and then I can't get the other. Moving this off for a second so I can get a sense on where this goes. Once again, wiggle room lets me move it around. And then this goes down here. We're going to be happy we did those two pieces first. Alrighty. Come on, Nance. Getting it all wiggly wiggly. All right, there we go. Now we're going to take, I'm going to bring my scoring tool in again. We're going to take these two pieces. One, I'm going to cut it in on a diagonal with the left part going. The other one, I'm going to cut in a diagonal the opposite way. So the big part going to the right at the top. If you cut them both the same way, it won't fit. I tried that. That's how I know that. So don't do that. So this one can go this way. If I choose, I could use that pattern, or I can use the other pattern. I can go either way. I'm going to use that because I was going to do it the opposite way, but I think I'm going to use that. That kind of looks nice. Once again, liquid glue. And you can really, once you have your parts and pieces, you could even put like, you know, switch things around. That one can go. I like because they matched up, but you can do it lots of different ways. Okay. Because I could, you know, go that way with this and that way with this because I cut them. I'm going to put them both in if you get a kit from me so you have options. Okay, now I have to cut. What do I have to do? I have to measure. I find a ruler is just as easy as anything else. And then I'm going to do it from the bottom. Okay. Bringing in my score cut again. I'm going to go from this little point to make sure that's in the track. They're both in the track. Then I'm going to do and you can save those to use those for scrap. I'm going to have this one go down in the track. And I'll come back in case I have any pencil marks I want to get off. The good news is on the purple, it doesn't really show up, but sometimes on the white, it does. I am going to put Celebrate on this one. I already have it cut out. I am not allowed to stamp for customers, but I am allowed to cut anything out. And this is fun because it's words. So everybody will get a couple of, like happy kind of words that you can use. I'm just going to put a little bit dabs of glue on here. Okay. And I'm going to attach that right here. And then I'm going to adhere it to my card center here. Okay, so we've got the basic card. And, it's funny every time you try it. Like, I see this one's a little high. This one's, I like it much better than the first one I made. It takes a little bit of time to figure out how to do it and to get things to really fold well. That takes a little bit of time. And it's paper, so you have to be gentle. You can't just... And this one I got low, so be careful when you're putting that on. Don't get it too low that it's going to show up. If it does, what do you do? Well, this is a very tricky thing to do. I don't like things showing up like that, so I just take a scissor and cut it off. It's paper. We can have fun with paper. And I do all the time. Okay, now I need to use my belly band. Do not make your belly band too tight. Make it a little bit loose so it can go on and off. You want it to slide on and off, so don't really fold it tight. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue. I'm going to actually move that so it's right in the middle. I want the seam to be in the front so I can cover it up because I don't want the seam to be in the back where it shows. So I'm just going to put that there and cover that up, and I'm leaving it loose. Now I have my... It'd be helpful if I put it even. That's always better too. Okay, now I have two little pieces from the zinnias that I cut out on Melon Mambo. How did I figure out? I watched a couple of people and how they did it. See that little fun? It's the only one on this one. It goes one way. I'm going to put a little bit adhesive on that. Move that up so you can see it. I'm putting it on the petals, the whole thing. Okay. And I'm going to put it so I know that this little funny petal is kind of to the top left, right there. Then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive, definitely in the middle, and a little bit. I don't go all the way up to the top, because if those flap up a little bit, if the petals are moving a little bit, I'm okay with that. Then I'm going to see these two together? I'm going to kind of put them that way. It doesn't match perfectly, in case you're wondering. It doesn't. There is a little bit of open part. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, put my glue away, I'm getting it back out, put a little bit of glue on the back of this yellow part. Adhere that in the middle. Could you pop anything up? Absolutely. I didn't, but you could. Putting just a tiny bit. You can also use a sponge dauber to add some glue. I'm kind of being lazy and just doing it this way, but you can Then don't put glue on the back of there. Put glue here. That way, when you put this down, it only adheres to the glue area. So, I hope you give a try to this fun fold. Like I say, the first one I made was a little rough. The second one, I think, is much cuter. You're going to really, and here's the other thing I learned. Trying to pull this up over the flap is silly. Pull it down. And I'm still trying to pull it the wrong way. Isn't that a wonderful card? Okay, so see, Nancy, that one's a little bit bent up. I'm going to come back through and trim that. These are all things we have to work on. And for my class, I'll kind of maybe trim it down just a little tiny bit because those are a little bit long. But a fun card. I hope you give it a try. Have a great day.